Right, I've got a bone to pick with you lot. Nobody reminded me that the 7th of February was the year anniversary of us starting this series. I know it's probably my responsibility to keep track of when I start a series and when it'll be a year old and whatnot, but hey, let's forget about who's to blame and let's just focus on celebrating. Hey, let's celebrate now. Let's celebrate a year of Pokemon WTF Moments. Thank you for all the lovely support on this series. It's been great. It's one of the best performing series on my channel ever, and that's really cool. But we need to celebrate in style, so can we get a little cake in here? Yeah, that's nice. Bring that cake in. Cool, cool. Right, I'm gonna sing Happy Birthday, but I think Happy Birthday is a copywritten song, so I'm gonna do that creepy thing where you only say the word birthday, but you stick to the tune. So, get ready. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a birthday. Birthday. Birthday! Birthday! Hey! Let's go with that. That was garbage. Let's never do that again. Cheers for a year. Cool. We start the episode with Misty asking Ash if he thinks he'll ever get another gym badge since he hasn't got any in a while. She then follows up with,
I guess you could make another gym leader feel sorry for you and get another badge that way.
Misty, mate, stop. He's already dead. Crikey. Nice to see Misty's back to her old bitchy self. Wait a minute, though. Misty's sisters are on that list of gym leaders that gave Ash a badge without Ash actually really earning it. So here, she's kind of dunking on them too. I guess we already know she doesn't like them, but still, ease up, mate. Ash Ketchum says he wins matches with skill. Do you, though? Do you really? Ash gets butthurt and challenges Misty to a Pokemon battle, but Snap yells, hold it, and starts taking photos of Pikachu. Honestly, I'd forgotten about you, Snap, and yet here you are, annoying me already. Seriously though, being obsessive about photography doesn't equal a personality, mate. You're one of the worst traveling companions Ash Ketchum has ever had. Just bugger off back to your spin-off game, mate. This is what Snap describes as the perfect expression for Pikachu. Yeah, because of course Pokemon photography enthusiasts are searching for that rarest of rare, why are you pointing the camera at me, you dumbass expression. Snap reckons if Ash wants to prove that he has skill, he should enter the Pokemon League Admissions exam. And Ash and Misty both react like they've never heard of it. No, no, no. I refuse to believe that. One, in the very first episode, Ash Ketchum was obsessed with becoming a Pokemon Master and winning the Pokemon League, and was even watching the Pokemon League on TV. And on top of that, he wears an official Pokemon League hat that he entered a competition in order to win. So you're telling me he doesn't pay attention to the Pokemon League? How would he not know about this entrance exam? And Misty's a gym leader. She should be keeping up to date with all the goings on in the Pokemon League. That'd be like an optician in the UK not earning their CET points. Oh, would you look at that? That was today's
reference only a few people will understand of the week.
So apparently if you pass the exam at the Pokémon League Admissions Centre, you earn this badge, which grants you access and entry into the Pokemon League without having to earn 8 gym badges. If that's the case though, why does anybody bother doing the gym challenge? Like sure, your Pokemon will get a little bit more training if you do the gym route, but why not just nip to the test centre after doing some studying, get your badge, and then chill at home and do all your training there? It'd be cheaper. The examiner tells Ash to hand over his Pokeballs because you're not allowed to use your own Pokemon during this exam, and Ash hands him 5 Pokeballs. Hang on though, Pikachu in this scene is on the back of Ash's head, so why is Ash handing over Pikachu's empty Pokeball? Seems a bit pointless, really.
Well, actually, Liam, he's probably handing over the Pokeballs for his other 5 Pokemon.
Oh, this is the same problem we had in the Growlithe episode, because none of you lot can count. Ash has 5 Pokemon with him, including Pikachu. That means 5, including Pikachu. It means Pikachu is one of those 5. Honestly, the number of people who commented on the Growlithe episode saying that the 6th Pokeball must be Pikachu's after I literally counted Ash's Pokemon on screen is unreal. Look, let's count Ash's Pokemon again. I'll even put them on screen this time. 1, Pikachu. 2, Pidgeotto. 3, Bulbasaur. 4, Squirtle. 5, Charizard. Say it with me. 5 Pokemon. Now, for argument's sake, yes, technically he could have transferred Muck, Krabby, or one of his Tauros to his party from Professor Oak's lab, but since we haven't been shown or told that in canon at this point, we cannot assume that. Which means in canon right now, he is literally handing this man 4 Pokeballs containing Pokemon and a 5th Pokeball that contains nothing. And when the guy closes his hand, there are 6 Pokeballs. What the bloody hell is going on here? Misty offers to look after Pikachu during the exam, which means that 5th Pokeball Ash handed over is definitely empty. Don't ask me about the 6th one, I have no idea. here. The Nurse Joy from Fuchsia City is here, and oh wait, is that a shiny Weedle? Well, I guess it kind of looks like shiny Weedle if this were Gen 2. I kind of miss green shiny Weedle, although gold shiny Weedle that we have nowadays is still pretty nice. Something else that's pretty nice is hitting that like button, just doing a little gentle tap on that like button, just to show you're enjoying this series and that you want more Pokemon WTF moments and more content from me. Hit the subscribe button if you're new so that you never miss a piece of this lovely content. If you're enjoying it, like, you know, if you're not, soz, but just enjoy it. You know what? Just enjoy it. Don't worry about not enjoying it. Hit subscribe. You'll never not enjoy it. Guaranteed. Confident there, Liam. Bloody hell. So like I was saying, the Nurse Joy from Fuchsia City's here, and she's basically praising the exam centre for how convenient this exam is for people who can't necessarily get away from work to go travelling around all the 8 gyms. It has got me wondering though, Ash is 10 years old. If he's spending all of his time travelling around on his Pokemon journey, when does he go to school? Does Brock teach him basic math and English and stuff like that? Or Japanese, I suppose. I mean, he left town on his own, so are children over the age of 10 just not expected to go to school in this world? I suppose if the options at 10 years old were go on this grand adventure across the world or go to school, schools would just be empty, wouldn't they? It turns out Jessie and James are both here, but didn't tell each other that they were going to be there, and they both ask each other what they're doing there. Mate, it's the Pokemon League Admissions Centre or whatever. There's only one thing anybody that's come here that doesn't work here is doing. Use your noodle, lads. Jessie lists a resume which says she's an accomplished hostess, florist, costume designer, wine expert, beautician, and style consultant. Get in! Finally! Finally! It's taken me so long to memorize that bloody list. Proud of myself. But Jessie, mate, if you have all that on your resume, why are you in Team Rocket? Just apply for any job and you'll be quids in. Meowth loves balls. Pass it on. The day starts with an exam that consists of a bunch of general knowledge questions with true or false answers, and Ash is sat there yelling out every answer he chooses. In my opinion, he's failed right there. This is supposed to be a legitimate exam. No talking would be allowed. Ash Ketchum has officially failed this exam and should be asked to leave. Pass it on. Ash believes Hitmonlee is known as the punching demon. Bearing in mind Ash has met a Hitmonchan before and has clearly seen that Hitmonchan wears literal boxing gloves. I mean, we know Ash is stupid, but this stupid? Really? This Caterpie has a hole in it for no reason. Don't you hate when someone does a bad cut and paste job? The only thing more annoying than that is when you save a seemingly transparent PNG file and it turns out that the transparency pattern that you normally see in the background of a transparent image is actually part of the picture. Infuriates me. Jessie is just hitting the true button for every single question because she has the attitude of if she just guesses true every single time, she's bound to get half the answers right. I shit you not, I believed this when I first watched this when I was a kid and Jessie said that. I believed it and I adopted this attitude when it came to multiple choice questions. It did not do me any favors. Just think where I'd be in life if Jessie hadn't taught me this terrible habit. The second exam is the infamous one. The participants have to guess which Pokemon is being displayed based on a silhouette or a part of its body being shown. In this case, it's a silhouette. So this image is shown, and whilst the answer to this one is annoying, what's more annoying is James's answer. Remembering that the goal of this is to, word for word, identify this Pokemon, James says it's a Pokeball. Without a doubt. How can it be a Pokeball if it's an actual Pokemon? Like, you're supposed to be identifying a Pokemon, not an item, not an object. Nothing that isn't a Pokemon can be the correct answer. Like, how did you come to that conclusion? Now, I did think at first that maybe James drew the Pokeball himself as his answer with like the digital screen Apple Pen thing they got going on, but there's an up and down arrow which suggests that there's a list of possible answers for you to choose from. But then why is Pokeball in the list of available answers? This whole thing's a mess. And of course, here's the actual answer, a Jigglypuff, seen from above. Mate, this just might be the biggest dick move in the history of Pokemon. How was anyone supposed to get that? Maybe that's how this place makes money. You know, charge them money to take the exam, but then present an exam that is absolutely, categorically impossible for them to pass. Actual money-grabbing arseholes running this place. The next question, which of course everybody gets wrong, is about the swirl on Poliwag's belly. After the answer has been revealed, the examiner explains that when a Poliwag evolves into Poliwhirl, the swirl on its belly changes direction, which is true, but he uses a picture of Poliwrath to demonstrate this. I don't even know how they managed to bugger this up. Like, in the Japanese version of this episode, they have Poliwhirl here in this scene, albeit with Japanese lettering in front of it. And I get that it's probably easier to just remove the Pokemon completely and then redraw it rather than trying to edit the text that's already over it, but how hard is it to just put Poliwhirl here? Like, if you're not sure about the differences between Poliwhirl and Poliwrath, would it hurt to just lean over and check? Stop rushing things, Pokemon, and stuff like this wouldn't happen. In the next question, they have to determine which Pokemon this tail belongs to, although this is clearly a trick question, because after everybody guesses wrong, it's revealed that this is in fact Ponyta's mane. Mate, if this place is really going to try and make out that it's some kind of super official examination board for Pokemon trainers, they need to stop with the trick questions. If you're asking whose tail that was, how is anyone in their right mind going to come to the conclusion of, oh, that must be Ponyta's mane? I'm telling you, this place is a con. Jessie gets frustrated with all the questions being impossible and storms out, and to be honest, I don't blame her. The thing I do have a problem with is she just makes a beeline for Meowth and then punts him like a football. How is this Meowth's fault, mate? All he's tried to do is enjoy a rare day off. Jessie's a horrible friend. Confirmed. It turns out Ash and James have the lowest scores out of anyone being tested that day, aside from Jessie, who has 0%. Mate, I get that Jessie was told to leave, but how in the hell did she get 0%? She definitely got some of those answers on the true or false questions correct. She should not have a score of 0%. The examiners are probably just bitter that she had their scam figured out. Something I just figured out is that today is
February 27th,
which means that code ACE is boosted. You can get 30% off G Fuel today with code ACE. I'm drinking watermelon today. It's lovely, it's refreshing, and with 30% off, it tastes even better, mate. Trust me. Go and get yourself some, mate. 30% off ends on Monday. Code ACE is what you need. Save money on G Fuel, support this channel at the same time. Thank you very much in advance. Snap slides in with his camera to take a picture of Ash's low score. Piss off, Snap, you're a bellend. So as if this scene where Brock is asking Snap to take some photos of Nurse Joy while she battles against one of the exam trainers isn't creepy enough, you know, because they literally met that day, they don't know each other very well, and now all of a sudden he's asking for loads of candid photos to be taken of Nurse Joy without her consent. But in the Japanese dub, Brock apparently tells Snap that now would be a good time to take photos of Joy because she'll be... because she'll be all sweaty. Japan, I love you, I really do, but what the fuck, man? Why are you so horny all the time? For legal reasons, that was a joke. I'm sure there are plenty of times where Japan just isn't really feeling it, isn't really in the mood, maybe it's too warm, maybe they're just not feeling super confident that day, you know, something like that. So for the next part of the exam, which is the battle section, participants have to choose a belt that has 3 Pokeballs on it, but they're not allowed to know what Pokemon are in them until they start the battle. This is supposed to test the Pokemon trainer's ability to adapt, regardless of what Pokemon they have. Not being funny though, but a Pokemon trainer is always going to have their own Pokemon with them. And if they do somehow end up in a situation where their own Pokemon aren't available, I doubt there's going to be a bunch of random battle-ready Pokemon just lying around in Pokeballs for them to use. What I'm saying is, this is a pointless test because it doesn't relate to any situation that a Pokemon Master will ever realistically find themselves in. James's first Pokemon is a Pikachu, and he says,
Thundershock, Thunderbolt, I've been destroyed by Pikachu's attacks so many times I know them all by heart.
and yet you pretty much always get beat by them. Funny that. Like, sure, sometimes you guys utilize rubber gloves or rubber sacks to store Pikachu in so you can't get electrocuted, but in the end, you always end up getting battered. You think you'd learn if you know them so well. All I'm saying is, this isn't much to be proud of, is it? The examiner sends out a Graveler, and of course, the Pikachu's Thunderbolt does absolutely nothing to it. When James questions it, the examiner says,
You should have known electricity does not affect rock-type Pokemon.
Yes. Yes, it does. What you wanted to say is electricity doesn't work on ground-type Pokemon. I'm telling you, the examiner's clueless. This whole place is an absolute sham. James sends out his other 2 Pokemon, which turn out to be an Ivysaur and a Charizard, and declares,
With these I can win.
okay, to be fair, when it comes to Ivysaur, you are absolutely right. But against Charizard, my money's on Graveler, mate. 4 times rock weakness, innit? James gets expelled for sending out 2 Pokemon at the same time. James, mate, what were you thinking? Double battles haven't been invented yet. Jesus Christ, Flareon's cry in this episode is absolutely terrifying. It's like... Ash's first Pokemon is a Weezing. Ahaha, can you see what they've done? They've given James Pokemon that are like what Ash would have, and they've given Ash Pokemon that Team Rocket have. How crazy and unexpected. Ash actually uses Weezing effectively and batters Flareon in a couple of moves. Ash Ketchum being a competent trainer. What the fuck? Not necessarily a WTF moment, but Team Rocket being like, hurry, take notes, got a genuine chuckle out of me. Are these evolutions okay? This Jolteon's another Pokemon with a messed up cry today. It's like, yo, Ash's next Pokemon is Arbok, but my question is, why did he switch? You just kicked ass with that Weezing, why not keep using it? Like, even stat-wise in Generation 1, Weezing's special stat was 85 and Arbok's was only 65. And of course, Jolteon uses electric attacks, and electric attacks in Generation 1 were special moves. So it's just a really bad switch. Now that's the Ash Ketchum we all know and love. Using Glare to paralyze an electric type. Could not be me. Or any of us for that matter nowadays. No, but seriously, since Generation 6, electric type Pokemon have been completely immune to paralysis, which means for the last 7 years, this hasn't been possible. God, has it really been 7 years since X and Y came out? We're all getting old. Ash's Arbok can't use the move Wrap because Jolteon's fur is too spiky. Miss me with that bollocks. I absolutely hate when the anime just makes up its own rules.
Well, actually, Liam, if you don't like it when the anime makes up its own rules, you're in for a rough time.
Don't. One day, years from now, I'm gonna have to talk about Thunder Armor. God help me. Ash calls back Arbok and sends out his final Pokemon, which turns out to be a Meowth, because of course the Team Rocket theme that they got going on, and the Examiner switches out Jolteon for a Vaporeon. Again, what's with the random switching? This is something that's always bothered me in this show, when Pokemon trainers will switch Pokemon during a battle when there's no real need. Are we to believe that that Jolteon couldn't beat that Meowth? Bugger off. The Vaporeon's Ice Beam freezes the Meowth and the match gets called off, with the Examiner saying,
"Looks like another victory for me."
Hold on, mate, I'm pretty sure Ash still has a very capable Weezing sitting in the back. And before we get to that, this Meowth is frozen. That's a status condition. It's not KO'd yet. And to be fair, the Arbok was hurt but hadn't fainted. And with Flareon getting knocked out, that means the Examiner is the only trainer in this battle that has lost a Pokemon so far. Now, given that this episode aired over 2 decades ago, I'm pretty sure the timer on that battle will have run out. So with 3 Pokemon left as opposed to 2, Ash Ketchum is officially the winner of that battle. Well done, Ash! Who knew? Team Rocket's Meowth jumps in to help the frozen rental Meowth, and after it speaks, the Examiner says,
"Say now, I'd love to catch that talking Meowth there."
I don't get why more people in the Pokemon world aren't like this. Most people seem to ignore the fact that Meowth can talk and seemingly ignore all of the money-making opportunities it could bring them. I know some people notice it, but most people just don't, and it's really weird. Oh, mate, here we go. Team Rocket are back with the rental Pokemon that they didn't return. We're about to see an epic battle with Jessie commanding an Ivysaur, Meowth commanding a Pikachu, and James commanding a bloody Charizard. Nah, just kidding. The Examiner tells the Pokemon to turn around and they all attack Team Rocket. And also, Team Rocket haven't actually got their own Pokemon out yet, so this is kind of an unfair fight when you think about it. I'm just saying, works both ways. The weird part of this scene, where the rental Arbok, Weezing, and Meowth attack Team Rocket, is that even though Jessie and James don't own the Arbok and Weezing, they still talk to them like they do. Like James says, "Weezing, please, I can't breathe." But it's not your Weezing, so why would it give a toss? Ash tells the Weezing to use Explosion, which sends Team Rocket blasting off again, but also destroys the battlefield in the process. Really, mate? You could have just got your Pikachu to use Thunderbolt and that would have been good enough. This is just bloody excessive. And to be fair, if this is how much damage an Explosion from Weezing would have done to the only battlefield at the test center, it makes you wonder why they even taught it Explosion to begin with. The Examiner reckons that because of Team Rocket's interference, everybody has to start the examination all over again. How is that fair? There are people here that won their battles before this all kicked off and they're just getting their pass grade taken away from them? That is absolute bollocks and once again confirms that this entire center is an absolute shit show and should definitely be shut down. If you lot want to get to the Pokemon League, get off your arse, go get some gym badges. And if you don't have time to go traveling from gym to gym because of your work commitments or your studies, it's high time you decided which is more important to you personally. The Examiner asks Ash if he'd like to take the test again and Ash says he doesn't think so. Too right, mate, get out while you can. Now, whilst I do think that Snap is a really lame companion, the absolute audacity of Ash, Misty and Brock to leave without him is maddening. Especially when he's clearly been caught in the explosion blast that Ash caused. That's not very protagonisty, is it? Oh no, the Meowth's got switched. Now the Examiner has Team Rocket's talking Meowth. How will they ever get him back? Well, we'll never know, because we never actually get told, and the trio is just back together at the start of the next episode with no explanation animation because it's a children's cartoon, so who the fuck cares? No, seriously, that's probably what the writers thought, if they even thought about this at all. Now, technically, Team Rocket have successfully stolen this Meowth. Because think about it, the examiner probably hasn't even realized that this Meowth is gone. He doesn't know where Team Rocket are, and frankly, he probably doesn't care where this Meowth is because he now has the talking Meowth. But at the end of the last scene, Team Rocket's Meowth did jump out of the examiner's arms, and maybe that's how it escaped, and maybe that's how it got back to Team Rocket. But if that's the case, then that means there's no reason for Jessie and James to go back to the test center to return the other Meowth. So why do we never see this other Meowth again? Answers on a postcard, please. So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 56, The Ultimate Test. Let me know your favorites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course head over to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all my live streams, and use code ACE for 30% off G Fuel until Monday the 1st of March. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.